Yes, good evening. Good evening, everyone. My name is Envina Solomon Spencer. I'm a student at Makerere University doing software engineering. Yes, today I would like to continue a presentation that I started on. And it has been running, a project that I started on, and it has been running over a couple of weeks, I think now. And so today I'll be talking about some of the things that I've written in my term paper. And the term paper is actually this. Let me just share my screen. So this is the term paper that I've been working on, and it explains the various things that I've been talking about over the couple of sorry. It explains the various things that I've been talking about in the various presentations, and you can just go through as I make these breaks. You can just pause the video and go through what I've been trying to talk about, and yeah. I believe it actually has quite some good words and something you can learn. The unsupervised learning and supervised learning, the methodology, the data collection, all these things that I've been trying to talk about over the couple of weeks back, and in the things that I've been trying to do in the presentations that I've been posting on YouTube. Yeah. So we have the AI model, the optimization, what optimization is, what high parameters are, all those things. So the AI model selection, accountability, and the results and decision and discussion, those things of metrics, the accuracy, F1 score, precision and recall, and all those things. Yeah. So so allow me to just show you the presentation that we shall be talking about today. And this presentation, like I've said, it's going to be talking about the term paper that I've just shown you. So yeah, so firstly, these are the contents of the presentation. Yes, so these are the things that we shall be looking at as in this video. Now we shall have the introduction. So we've been talking about the AI intelligence and facial recognition. I've been talking about this in each and every video, and I believe right now everyone has an idea of what artificial intelligence and facial recognition actually are in the context of homes, banks, and the security department at large. Yeah. So the background and motivation. AI has been there for some time now, and it has ideas keep coming and the ones that are there are being improved every day. Yeah, so you find that this has been there ever since the mid 20th century, as this slide says, and facial recognition technologies has been motivated by the desire to improve security and convenience for customers. In homes, facial recognition can be used to allow residents to enter their homes without keys or passwords. That is very true. We have seen this in banks. For example, people that are trying to access the vault, maybe you find that it's only the authorized personnel, and all those things. Additionally, facial recognition can be used to monitor for potential intruders and alert homeowners or authorities if someone who is not recognized attempts to enter. This is very obvious, and I guess it makes sense. Yeah. So this is the literature view. Literature view here, it's basically the techniques that I've been trying to train this model with. So we have both supervised learning and unsupervised learning under this slide, as you can see. And like I used to say that with supervised learning, you find it's a person who has to, group this data. But then with unsupervised learning, the data is put into clusters, various clusters, and the model actually trains itself, But with supervised learning, you find that there must be like a person to group the data. I find that this belongs to this side, this belongs to this other side. Basically, that is what. But you can also read through what I've been talking about, both in the term paper and what I've been talking about here. So the gaps and solutions in the above techniques, what techniques am I talking about? Talking about the techniques of supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So we have gaps like dependence on the quality and quantity of data, sensitivity to bias, privacy concerns, and limitations in handling occurrences and variations. Just because I don't have a lot of time to explain all these, but I've talked these are some of the solutions, But I have I've explained each point here very well in the term paper. So we can just go back to the very start of the video. You look for where the gaps and solutions are, and trust me, I have given clear explanations for all this. So we have the methodology. We've been talking about what a methodology is, and we've talked about things like data collection, processing, and feature extraction, training, evaluation and testing, deployment. Find that in things like training, the dataset, for instance, the dataset that I use, the CNN dataset that I got from Kaggle, and that's what I use to train my model. Yeah, and evaluation and testing, we have to test this model. Deployment, maintenance, and improvement, so that with over time, as new ideas come up, as technology advances, all this can be able to fit into the model. So the dataset, this is the dataset that I've been talking about. And so it's what I used for this project. And so basically, this slide talks about the dataset description, describes the various elements of this dataset. So we have things like diversity, image quality, large size, limited data, variations in pose and expression can also be included in this list. So you find that some of these factors are the factors for this dataset. Yeah. Tune high parameters. You know what tune high parameters are, and I think I also talked about this in the very last presentation. So if you don't know what that is, I kindly request you that you pause the video or you go to my previous YouTube video that I uploaded and you see how I explained this. So data preparation and exploratory analysis. Here we are trying to look at ways of making the data suitable, things like formatting, things like for example, here we have things like data cleaning, transforming into suitable format for analysis. Yeah. So basically that is what data preparation and exploratory analysis is. With exploratory analysis, you find that we are looking at ways of how we can identify missing values or the various graphs we draw for this data. Yeah. So I talked about optimization in my term paper. I just thought that I would say it here and just give you a hint of what optimization is in this context. So it is the process of improving the performance of a model by adjusting its parameters, architecture, or training data. The goal of individuals recognize the data. So the goal of optimization is to achieve a model that can accurately recognize and identify individuals with high accuracy, efficiency, and robustness. So this includes data augmentation, transfer learning, hyperparameter tuning, visualization, and model compression. So I've been talking about all these in detail when it comes to the term paper. So I kindly refer you to go through my term paper and write in the comments what you think about the term paper is, and I'll be answering some of your chats, and I would also love to learn from you guys. So the results and discussion here, I'm talking about the evaluation metrics. The things of accuracy, performance score, precision, and recall. Yeah, so the ROC curves, yeah. So basically, we've been talking about this in the previous presentations. I just don't want to waste a lot of time on this. Yeah, and so you find that with this, actually, some of these things, you find that this presentation helps us to guide us in a way that in case, we understand what I've been trying to share over time, and I've been able to put them in one presentation. Yeah. So in conclusion, so this is the conclusion. I've talked about the Kaggle dataset that provides a resource for developing and evaluating facial recognition systems. And I just had to acknowledge here that I thanked the developers and the research community who worked in this area. and that their work has contributed to the advancement of the facial recognition technology and has helped identify and address the ethical and societal implications of this technology. This is very true because I've actually picked quite a lot from this data set. I've picked a lot from this whole project that I've been trying to work on. Yeah, and thank you very much. So these are the references that where I got the information from. And thank you very much for your time. I kindly ask you to subscribe and so that you don't miss any content that I ever post future. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.